I'll be sharing with you today how coming from this type of family has shaped my life. I hope that from this video you'll be able to learn one or two things and you'll be able to introduce them to your family. And if it is something you've been doing already or your family also has some of these things that I admire, I hope that you get to cherish them. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ifeoluwa, and in today's video I will be sharing with you the things that I admire about my family. When I say my family, oh my god, nuclear family has now become extended family. Such is life. I mean the family that I originated from. Do you call me family? Yeah, I have some things I admire about that family and I am here to share with you. And the purpose of sharing them with you is for you to also pick out one or two things that can contribute to your family values. So let's get started. So I'll start by reintroducing myself. My name is Ifeoluwa Ni Oyekomi. Oh my god, I missed that name. And today I'll be sharing with you the things that I love about Oyekomi family. The things that I admire, the things that I value, the things that I love, and the things I'm going to be about being a part of a Oyekomi family completely. When I mean being a part, I'm still part of them, but you know, there are levels to these things, and one family is not a priority over the other. That's what I'm just trying to communicate. Okay, I'm from a family of 8. Yeah, it's a large family. Daddy, mommy, and 6 children. 3 ladies and 3 gentlemen. The equation is balanced. My parents are evangelists and they are retired civil servants, and they both worked in the education sector before they retired. I am the first daughter and the third born, and I'll be sharing with you today how coming from this type of family has shaped my life. I hope that from this video you'll be able to learn one or two things and you'll be able to introduce them to your family. And if it is something you've been doing already or your family also has some of these things that I admire, I hope that you get to cherish them. So the number one thing that I love about my family is the spiritual atmosphere. Oh my god. It's like I said earlier on, I said my parents are evangelists and they are praying machine. My dad is my dad is an evangelist, he's an elder, my dad is a minister, and one of the reasons why I admire the spiritual atmosphere in my house is that it's very uncommon. Most times I hear a lot of people say that, oh, it's mothers that pray, fathers don't pray, or fathers don't pray as much as mothers do, and they just go about their day. In my family, my dad is a praying machine. And in the past 20 years of my life that I have known my father, trust me, there is no single day that my father does not pray. And this is one of the things that I so much cherish about my dad. My dad is a prayer man. There is no single day that he doesn't wake up probably in the middle of the night to pray. If he's not praying, he's interceding for somebody. And it gives me this assurance, it gives me this feeling that, okay, I am covered. So that's one of the things I love about my family. And as much as I'm saying that for the past 20-something years, I'm sure that my brothers are even way older than I am. They can also testify to the fact that even when my dad is sick, he will still wake up the time he used to wake up and pray. And you will still be wondering, is this man not tired? He will pray and go back to sleep. So I cherish that about my family. In my family, we pray minimum of 2 times. Minimum of 2 times, maximum of as many times as possible in our house. So let me tell you how it goes. When we wake up in the morning, we have our family devotion. We pray, we read the Bible, we sing, and that's it. After that, everybody dresses up. Let's go to work. And as we are going to work, before we leave the house, my dad will pray. He will say his own short prayer, like something like, Father, I'm going out today, my days are my ways are blessed, blah blah blah. And he enters his car. When he gets into his car, my dad prays again. And everybody has to say amen. I remember a lot of times during that prayer, if you not say amen, you can just hear a knock on top of your head. That's my daddy telling you that you are not praying or you have done something wrong. That's how many times already? 3 times in the morning. And everybody goes. And I am so sure of this. Whenever my daddy gets to work, you see him remove his cap and he prays again. After then, he goes about his activities and do everything. Then when he's done and he wants to come back home, he's entering his car again or whatever means, he'll pray again. Okay, God, thank you for today. I'm going again, blah, blah, blah. When he gets home or anywhere else he's going to pray again. before he enters the house. And when he now enters the house, he will now pray again. God will now favor you. Maybe my daddy now, he bought something on his way, or someone gifted him something. He will now sit down around it. We'll have another devotion in the day. During the day. We'll have another devotion during the day. And something as little as, even if it is, okay, let me say a knife, for example. My dad will bless the knife, will sanctify it, will say that the knife will not injure anybody. The giver is blessed. We'll pray for the giver. And after that, we'll go about our normal day again. Then we'll come back at night for our family devotion again. So when I say there is a spiritual aspect in my house, I stick. No. I love that about my parents. They are praying machines. You see them wake up. And even some particular times of the year, you will see that my dad can just keep waking us consistently for some days and tells us, okay, we're having vigil for days like that. And it is one of the things that has grown me. All of these things, they are seeds that have been sown into our lives from when we were young, and little by little they keep germinating till we become who we really are today. So the very first thing I cherish about my family is that there is a priest in that home. There is a priest, there is a wife, and the spiritual atmosphere is amazing. The second thing I love about my family is the bond. There is a bond in my family that it is very visible. Before, I didn't see it as something that was so much of a big deal, but as I started seeing a lot of things happening in places, how that we're having sibling rivalry and all of those things, then it made me cherish that, no, there is a bond in this house. We pray together, we support one another together, and it is amazing. Number 3, one of the virtues that was also built into us from my family is the culture of respect. We respect people. We respect ourselves as a family member. We respect ourselves. We do not say that, okay, this is the list, so we can just treat you anyhow. No, we respect ourselves and we respect people. And it starts from the head. The oil flows from the head. When I see my dad respect people, I'm literally like, why is this man doing this? That's that respect. If I start to give you stories upon stories, we will not live here today. So I also cherish that about my family. Number 4 is learning from one another. I have said that in my family, we find it so comfortable to ask questions, do this one, do you know this, do you know that, and we find it very easy to learn from one another without saying, okay, maybe I am ahead of you and I know more. Or even my mom, oh my god, when I was still in the university and I come back home, myself and my mom would stay awake till around 1, and my dad will even be saying that, come to bed, leave my wife alone. And we will be talking. She'll be asking me questions. I'll tell her some of the things that I've learned in school outside academics, maybe my spiritual journey, maybe around relationships. And I look at the way my mom just sits down and she's learning from me, and I'm like, really, I thought you know more than me. But that's one thing about her. She will just swallow everything and do as if she doesn't know anything at all, and expect you to just express yourself before she now corrects you or do something. So we're always learning from one another. The mother is always learning from children is always learning from the parents, siblings are always learning from one another, and it is one thing that I really admire so much. Number 5 is supporting one another, and I really love that too. Everybody has one thing or the other they are doing from my house. We have a lot of people in the media, some in the fashion. When I say some, I mean some. I already said that for a large family. Media, education, and fashion. Let me just put that. And the way you see one another rise up to support one another. For example, Media Sister has an educational initiative for students, and I have seen the way everybody literally stands up to support her, from the youngest to the oldest, even up to my parents, in prayers, in showing up, in everything. And we're always willing to support one another. And beyond having an initiative, it runs in the family like that. What are you doing? Okay, I'm doing this. Okay, let me patronize you, let me support you, let me do this, let me do that. In fact, I remember that our last born literally made a business out of us in that house, like, because she was just so sure that the support was going to come from the home, and she started selling things to us in the house. I started patronizing her till she stopped selling, and she made so much profit. So we are always out there supporting one another. So it is one of the culture that is very important for families to have, the culture of support. The last thing I'd like to talk about is the culture of contentment and delaying of gratification that has been built in my house. I don't know how my mom did that. I don't know how my dad were able to do that, but we train in such a way that we are contented. We have the ability to delay gratification even when things are given unto us. I think it is one of the reasons why I am so used to, even if you give me something, the thing can just stay in the house for maybe a month or thereabout without anybody touching it, and it's just going to be there before I finally say, oh, let me pick up this thing and eat. So the culture of delaying gratification, the culture of contentment is one of the things that was built in my family that I cherish so much, and it has shaped my life. That culture is just amazing, and by the grace of God, I'm going to ensure that I also imbibe this culture into my new family. Okay, so briefly, let me just talk about my parents. My dad is a strict and a disciplined person. He can be very strict and disciplined. Sometimes it can be a lion, sometimes it can be a lamb. He's strict, responsible, he's vocal, and he's very protective of his children. I love you so much, Daddy. May the Lord spare you to reap the fruit of your labor. And for my mom, my gentle woman, the woman I look after. She's meek, she's submissive, and at the same time, she's fair. If she tells you she doesn't want this, softly, she keeps insisting, and one way or the other, she will end up having her way. My mom she's meek and she's fair. I love you, mommy, and the Lord will spare you to reap the fruit of your labor over us in the name of Jesus. Okay, so while I was trying to write the script for this video, I spoke to my siblings, and come and hear what my siblings have to say about what they love about my family. So let's read. Okay, so I just sent them a random message and I said, hello family, I need your ideas. What are the things that you admire about the family that you came from? And I told them, okay, I love our spiritual values and the way we support one another's vision. So somebody said, I love our sarcasm and how we always enjoy being together. COVID-19 was a perfect example. During the pandemic, everybody was home except safe for one, and we literally roll in sarcasm every single day. One person is always saying something, another person will give it back to the person, and that bond, I think, is the bond that gives birth to enjoying being together. So sarcasm and enjoying being together, that's what my sister says. Another person says, I love the bond. Another person says, I love how we tolerate and accommodate and understand ourselves. I love the respect in the family and the fact that we all came from daddy and mommy. Don't mind him. He called them a name. I'm not going to call them. And the baby of the house says, I love the fact that everyone gives me money. Like really? Like really? But then, I think that's one of the advantages of being a last born. Everybody gives you money. My eldest brother says, I love the fact that there is no rivalry. Despite the distance, we still tolerate and look out for each other. That's amazing. I love the fact that you people care about each other and watch one another's back. Those are the things that my sibling says about my family that they love. I hope you've been able to learn one or two things. By the grace of God, I'm going to imbibe these virtues and imbibe some of them in my new family. And I know you have learned a thing or two from this video. So briefly before you go, I want you to help me drop in the comment section. 1, if you enjoyed this video. Number 2, what is the point that stood out for you? And number 3, what do you admire about your family? Let's celebrate ourselves. Thank you so much for staying up until now. I love you with all my heart, and there is nothing you can do about it. Thank you for always coming back. Thank you for always watching. I love you, and I love you, and I love you, and I love you, and I can't stop saying that I love you. Thank you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Okay, how that we're having sibling rivalry, how that we're having sibling rivalry, how that we're having sibling rivalry, and